All right, hey everybody. All right, I'm working on the Granny Trike here. I've got the Predator engine on one of these kind of generic mounting plates sitting here, and this is kind of a dilemma now. So let me see if I can get the lighting a little bit better for you guys. All right, so here's the Trike. From the center here, I've removed this gear-driven bit. I've removed the pedals, and I found a fan clutch tool that fit on the opposite side of that there, and I was able to disassemble this pretty easily. So here's the Predator as it sits right now. Here's the dilemma. First of all, I'm not following anybody's plans for this. I'm just winging it. I bought this pulley here, so it's got a 5/8 center. This is a 5/8 shaft, okay? So here's the big dilemma now. I can fit this pulley almost between this rim and here. It physically does fit, but then I don't have enough thread to bolt that down, and this pulley rubs against the spokes. Come on now. Hang on a second here. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so then I'm thinking to myself, okay, ideally I'd actually like to drive this with a much larger pulley out here. I think this would actually be ideal. That way I don't have to mess with anything in the center section here. But if you mount your drive pulley here, that means the output shaft of this engine has to be also way out here. So you're going to have to basically extend this mounting surface out with some angle iron or something so that the engine can be mounted, way out here. And ideally you want the engine kind of in the center of the frame, but this is going to be like way past the center. I mean, way past. As you can see, that output shaft is nowhere near that pulley. So, number one, the pulley should be taller. Number two, this should be thinner. This section of the pulley should be thinner. Now, I could take off a millimeter or two, maybe, if I'm lucky, and still use this, but I don't think a millimeter is going to save me on this project. So, I'm thinking, as much as I'd like to drive it on this side, I can't. So that leaves me to push this motor back over to the other side where, let's see here. Sorry, I'm doing all this one-handed, as you can tell. So now the motor is about as far to the right as I care for it to go, because then, you don't want it all the way without having to extend this. And that still gives you enough room for the starter mechanism to not interfere with something. So now, if I've got this mounted here, I can mount the pulley down here, and it's parallel enough with the output shaft of the Predator. But it's also going to be very close to this little drum brake assembly, and I really like this little drum brake. I think it's great, so I really don't want to get rid of that. So I could get away with definitely like an inch bigger diameter pulley, maybe even 2 inches bigger diameter, if I can find one that either has a 5/8 center bore, or that I can sleeve with like a bushing and make it fit. So this is kind of where I'm at with the dilemma. Do I drive it in the center, or do I drive it off to this side? And I think for my purposes, because I'm not trying to sink, $2,000 into this build here, I think I'm going to be stuck driving it through the center, and I may have to remove this brake. I'd hate to do that, but it is what it is. But if I remove this here, there's no place for me to mount it here. I can't really relocate it very easily, so we'll have to do, it would just have to rely on the front brakes. But, where we're going, we don't need any brakes. Anyway, that's the update. My little mini dilemma here, but it is coming together. The granny trike. All right. Hope you enjoyed.